Welcome to our final study of the Feasts of the Lord. Today we will look at Sukkot, or the Feast of Tabernacles. After the solemn Day of Atonement, Israel entered a season of joy, a week-long celebration unlike any other. It was a time of laughter, feasting, worship, and thanksgiving. This was the Feast of Tabernacles, or Sukkot, the final and most joyful of the feasts of the Lord. Leviticus 23 gives God's instructions for this feast. On the 15th day of the 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days to the Lord. You shall dwell in booths for 7 days, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. Sukkot takes place 5 days after Yom Kippur, a transition from repentance to rejoicing. It was a harvest festival, marking the end of the agricultural year when Israel celebrated God's abundant provision. Families built small temporary shelters, or sukkahs, covered with branches and leaves. They ate, prayed, and even slept in them, remembering how God sheltered them in the wilderness. Sukkot is called the season of our joy. It reminds us that happiness isn't found in comfort or permanence, but in God's presence. For 7 days, Israel celebrated God's provision. He provided food, water, and shelter in the desert. God's protection. He guided them by cloud and fire. God's presence. He dwelled among them in the tabernacle. Deuteronomy 16 commands, "You shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days, and you shall be altogether joyful." Joy was not a suggestion, it was a command. During the Second Temple period, Sukkot included 2 beautiful ceremonies. The water-pouring ceremony. Priests drew water from the pool of Siloam and poured it out at the altar, thanking God for rain and spiritual renewal. And the illumination ceremony. Giant lamps lit up Jerusalem, symbolizing God's glory filling his people. It was during this feast that Jesus made 2 powerful declarations. "If anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. Out of his heart will flow rivers of living water. I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life." Prophetically, the Feast of Tabernacles points to the millennial kingdom, the time when Jesus will reign from Jerusalem and God will once again dwell physically among his people. Zechariah tells us, "And it shall come to pass that everyone who is left of all the nations shall go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles." This feast is a picture of the ultimate restoration. Heaven and earth united, God and man, together. Revelation 21 declares, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people." From the temporary booth in the wilderness to the eternal dwelling of God with his redeemed, Sukkot tells the story of Emmanuel, God with us. The Feast of Tabernacles reminds us to thank God daily for his provision, rejoice in his faithfulness even in temporary circumstances, live as pilgrims, knowing this world is not our permanent home, anticipate his coming when he will dwell with us forever. In our temporary booths of life, our jobs, our homes, our struggles, God's presence is what makes it home. Philippians 4 says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again I say rejoice." The feasts of the Lord began with deliverance and end with dwelling. From the lamb's blood at Passover to the glory of God in tabernacles, the story is complete. We were redeemed to dwell with him.